Hello everyone, it's Kavita from Red Door Yoga, and thank you for joining me for the Red Door Yoga Mini Sutra series online. Today I wanted to talk to you about retraining the anxious mind. Now, if you tend to suffer from anxiety, chances are you have a little bit too much what we call vata going on. Now, vata is a combination of air and ether, those elements that are part of the 5 elements that make up the universe. And everyone has them. And as we go through life, depending on the season, depending on the things we eat, the environment we're in, etc., those things, our elements can get pushed. And so if you've got too much air and ether, too much vata going on, it can actually cause your mind to become unstable. Now, that instability means that the mind is moving, and it's moving erratically. It's moving from one place to the other without as much order to it as you would like. That disorder actually causes anxiety to occur. When the amount of vata you have is well balanced, so it's a good amount of vata, you'll find that the mind will move, but it'll be creative and it will be emotionally stable. It's when it moves too much and too erratically, there's too much vata, that we see the anxiety, that we see dramatic tendencies that are not in your best emotional interest. So today, as I mentioned, I wanted to talk to you about retraining the vata mind, or the anxious mind. And what that really means is, how do we learn to retrain the movement of the mind? Well, the first thing is, learning to focus is important. Learning to start to moderate how much the mind moves is important. And meditation is hugely advantageous for that. Now, if you tend to suffer from anxiety, very often the last thing you want to do is meditate. But meditation does not have to be complex. It does not have to involve a large amount of commitment. It can be 20 seconds. Okay? It does not mean that you have to sit down for an hour every day. In fact, if you have a tendency to suffer from anxiety, I would suggest that your meditation should be short, but interspersed throughout the day. All you need is a point of focus, something that you've decided to keep your mind trained upon. And again, you don't have to do it for long periods of time. In fact, when you suffer from high anxiety, it's best to start with very short durations. Like I said, 20 seconds is a little short, but if that's what you need, go for it. I tend to suggest 1 to 2 minutes. It could be something like sitting down and breathing and watching your breath. Just notice how it moves in and out, in and out, in and out. Maybe listen to the sound the breath makes as it moves through you. Now, if you suffer from really high anxiety, you might find the mere act of sitting is very uncomfortable for you. You feel trapped and you want to move. So, why not a walking meditation? Allow yourself to move. But pay attention as you're walking to what it feels like to be in your body, to have your foot touch the floor, move through the movement, and come off at the toe, from heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe. You don't need to be static. Another thing that's very helpful for retraining that anxious or vata mind is to start to take a look at what you're eating. People who suffer from high anxiety also have a tendency to eat foods that are a little too light. They tend to eat raw foods like salads, etc. There's not enough weight to the food that they eat. Good foods to eat when you're trying to retrain the anxious mind would be things like root vegetables, things that are heavier, more moist, and warm. Try to stay away from cold foods. Go towards warm foods. Oils are very helpful in your diet. You'd be amazed at how much what you put into your mouth affects what comes out of your mind. Another thing that you might want to be aware of that will help you to retrain the anxious mind is take a look at the environment that you're in. If there is a lot of clutter around you, that in itself disturbs the mind and makes it move, agitates it. and it causes the anxiety to ramp up. Create some order around you. It does not have to be perfect. It does not need to look like a showroom. Okay? Just a little bit of order goes a long way. If you currently look around your environment and you realize that everything looks like chaos, start small. Just like what we did with the meditation there. Start small. It does not have to be a big thing. So choose a corner of a room. Choose a drawer even, right? Choose one tabletop to clear and create order with. And then at another time, so maybe the next day, create more order in a different spot. Create more order in a different spot. You can move around as you want to. That will give you a bit of freedom there, okay? Choose small areas to just create some order with. Like I said, we're not looking for a showroom. We're looking for order. A sense where when the mind looks to that area, it feels like it can rest. It feels like it can move in a smooth fashion versus trying to dart from here to there to there to there. That movement is what's causing anxiety. Another thing to help retrain the anxious mind is just like we broke the meditation and the decluttering down into small pieces, start to break the commitments you have in your life into small pieces. Try not to look at the overall picture too much. At times, it's best to focus. Say, I'm going to focus on this piece of the puzzle. Deal with this here and now. Okay? When your mind suddenly juts out and looks at the whole thing and starts to feel overwhelmed, that's okay. Take a moment. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. And let it out. Let it go. And then refocus on a small segment again. And just like we talked about decluttering your environment, decluttering your schedule would be very helpful to retraining your anxious mind. There may be things on your schedule that you just simply need to get rid of, let go of. Maybe you don't need to let go of it forever, but say to yourself, not right now. Break things into pieces, and the overwhelm will disappear. The anxiety will disappear. Lastly, I would suggest to you as well to try to get a little bit of routine going in your life. Just like we weren't looking for a showroom with the decluttering, we are not looking for a completely routine-bound life. One of the things that I do for myself is I get up every morning and I go for a walk with my dog. I actually get up earlier than I need to start my day just to make sure I've got some space around me for that walk. That it lessens the tendency for the mind to go, I don't have time. I can't go today because I don't have time. Okay? And having that routine, that's how my day starts every day, is incredibly helpful to ordering my mind and my emotions, not just in that moment, but for the entirety of the rest of the day. It stabilizes my energy as well for the rest of the day. I find that I can carry myself for a long period of time now. If I go for that one walk, that one routined walk. One of the other things you might decide to do is maybe have an evening routine as well. So you can kind of bookend your day. So have something in the morning that your day starts in a particular way, and maybe have something in the evening. Something as simple as sitting down and having a warm cup of herbal tea. I'm suggesting herbal because you don't want caffeine in the evening. That will tend to ramp up, the anxiety that the mind is currently prone to. So have something that is soothing, warm, moist, but allows the mind to settle. Maybe for you, it's sitting down an hour before bed and reading a little something from a book that allows your mind to relax, as opposed to one that works you up. Okay? So those are some things that I highly recommend. If you have been suffering from anxiety, look towards these changes. You can absolutely retrain your anxious mind, and you would be amazed at how quickly it can happen as well. I hope this was helpful, everyone. And I very much look forward to seeing you again online soon. If you have thoughts, questions, please put them in the comment section. And as always, thank you for joining me. Namaste.